Welcome back to every NES game. I'm Slider. And this is Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. I like how there's an NES game, and a popular-ish one, that has the word hell in it. How would the censors not get to that? Also, what the hell's... Oh god, what happened to the graphics?! 9. Also 9. Many 9s down there. Okay. At least the normal game seems normal. But regardless, here we are at Castlevania, and we're starting off in some sort of town. Oh, thank you for that. Let's buy a white crystal. Oh, that's good to know. There's someone we shouldn't buy from in this town. So yeah, unlike the original Castlevania, this one has a somewhat slower start. Just starting in this little town. Interesting little place to explore. And there's these creepy guys. But no, he's the one that has the crystal, so it's okay. I don't have anything. So unlike the original Castlevania, where hearts meant ammunition, in this game they're closer to currency. Oh, thank you for that. Good to know. So yeah, these NPCs are giving you hints for certain things you'll have to do in the game. Oh, will it? How? Yeah, so one thing about this game is that these hints can be quite a bit cryptic. Oh. I guess we should go to Veros, wherever that is. We should go somewhere anyway. And they're right in the forest immediately with, like, they're attacked by a werewolf. And a skeleton man. We don't have our cool whip yet. I just realized that pun, what it... okay. But yeah, we have our just normal whip. But these enemies aren't too tough. Oh no. What a horrible night to have a curse. And now it becomes nighttime. And the enemies here are now going to be twice as difficult to deal with. At least if I'm remembering correctly, the enemies take twice as many hits. So... that's not ideal. Stop jumping! How dare you jump? The thing is, if we head back into town, the people are gone, they're replaced by these weird zombie sort of things. can't really do anything in town except fight them while it's still nighttime. So while we're here, I guess we should end up grinding. Get some money. Heart money. Sounds even darker than it is. Already got 102, so we could buy 2 of the items you saw for sale. So that's good at least, but... yeah, so this is a very different take on Castlevania compared to the first game. Also, the time is a bit weird. Not sure how that works, but regardless, it's not as much of a sort of quick, skill-based sort of platformer as much as it's kind of closer to the later Castlevanias, more like about RPG-light sort of thing. The morning sun has vanquished the horrible night. Like getting items and upgrades and stuff, and going across a bigger world with, like, backtracking if necessary. But unlike how those games, this game is still very much like the first game, so it's kind of awkward. Like, a lot of the awkwardness of this game was, like, intentional, so to put it into, like, this weird exploration game just doesn't work as well. Like, even the enemies, like, don't have, like, as many elaborate attack patterns or whatever. They just, like, kind of move a bit, I guess. They're really easy. Probably because they don't want the game to be too difficult. By the way, we got the white crystal, because we could afford it. Might become useful at some point. There's a lot of, like, equipping items, using certain items and whatnot. It's fine, but the way the game is structured, especially as it goes on, it just kind of becomes, like, a confusing mess. Like, if you don't know what to do next in the game, then you'll just be, like, lost forever. Also, you lose all your money if you die. Thankfully, I don't think you lose your items, or at least not most of them. But yeah, your money, they'll be gone if you die, so or if you get a game over, so don't do that. I think the holy water is that you can use it to, like, discover secret areas in some of these houses, but I don't think there's one here. Like with the first game, like, we were already deep into the second level. But here, it's just like, no, we should do some enemy grinding, then we should just check around the store, see if we can find secrets. It's a much slower paced game. And again, if it was a newer Castlevania game, that'd probably be fine, but, like, it's just a bit off. It's, like, not nearly as challenging, or just as fun in terms of, like, the gameplay. Like, look at these enemies, they're just... these exist. Because they had to, because you can't just have a super tough game that also involves, like, lots of grinding and exploration. At least not usually. That being said, despite all that, it's still pretty fun. Like, it still controls relatively well for an NES game. It still feels like Castlevania, despite the fact that they kind of tried to merge two different types of games, and I'm not sure it worked out that as well as they wanted. Probably why the next game is a bit closer to Castlevania 1. Also a bit of slow time. I There were like 4 or 5 enemies on screen at once. We can't do that. It's way too much. Now down there is obviously a different direction than over here. I think those stairs take you to another town. But I decided to go up here instead. Here I come across the first of, what do they call that? I believe the Manors? They're basically like the Zelda dungeons of this game. Though not with as much puzzles or whatever. But yeah, they're like the important areas of the game where you have to find certain items, and then when you collect them all, you can go to the final boss. And I found the water and died. Trying to figure out how exactly I'm supposed to get up here. I think I'm supposed to be at the very top of the thing, and then you jump at the right time. But that doesn't seem to be working. So we might have to try something else. Yeah, maybe not that. Come on. Okay, yeah. I was right the first time. You just need to be very precise to get to the very, very edge of the platform before jumping. Also, this enemy's annoying. Go away. Consider how the Holy Water is the first, sub-weapon you get. I guess that was actually well thought out enemy placement. Whereas a lot of the enemies, they just exist. They're walking around and then you just move forward and kill them. See another one. So they can still do that. They can still be smart about this. I spent a long time exploring this place. I paused because I realized I was gonna die. Yeah, game over. Good news is that it starts you right where you were. Bad news is that we lost all the currency we had. We had lost all those hearts. Now that way was basically a dead end. So I decided to head up here instead. There were those weird slime enemies. They end up like going from the floor to the ceiling, but they just end up disappearing into the sky because we can't see the ceiling or anything. I'm pretty sure they despawned and everything. Yeah, I don't want to sell that this game is like bad or anything. But like, we have even gone to the bad parts where like exploration becomes annoying and like, again, the hints don't really help in this version. Like, they're really vague and weird, and no normal person would figure out how to get to certain sections of this game based on them. There's actually like an updated version of this game someone made that fixed the translation and some of the other annoying issues. And another thing is that somewhere in this place, if we keep checking with our holy water, there's a fake floor. I don't know where it is. But I distinctly know that there's a floor in this game, in this area, where you can just fall through it. And the only way to tell is if you use the holy water. Which again is actually another semi-decent idea. If it's a bit weird. Oh, a symbol of evil will appear when you strike the stake. It will appear, apparently. Good to know. yeah, like, and that's the main thing about this game, really, is that it's not a bad game, but it's one that, like, went in a different direction, didn't think of how to make that direction work as well as it could have. Partially because it's the NES and no one knows what they're doing for a lot of interesting ideas. Because later Castlevania games took a similar style, I guess you could call it ahead of its time. There we go, the first 10 floors right here. If you try to jump on that block right over there, you'll just fall through. So you have to jump through it. And yeah, this is a bit annoying to listen to as well. At least this enemy walks backwards and throws a bone at you. Kinda reminds me of the skeletons from Zelda, especially Link to the Past, where they'll act somewhat similarly, try to jump backwards and avoid you at any cost. Which is another beloved game with the subtitle has the main character's name. I don't even think I mentioned in the first video that his name was Simon Belmont. Did I? I might have mentioned it once. Like, this could be okay with some decent enemy placement, or if you didn't have to, like, throw holy water 100+ times just to make sure you didn't fall to your death, or whatever. It's like there's so much more of the game, but they didn't really think of how to use it well. Best in an oak stake? We don't have enough money, so I guess we can't right now. We do need the oak stake in this place, which is why he's here. So in the meanwhile, we're gonna grind up for some more money. Kill enemies for money. Eventually we got it and we can buy it. Now that we have it, we can keep going forward. The good thing about this game is that the aesthetic is still pretty on point compared to the first game. Some really solid music. That I'm ruining with this sound effect. Oh, another clue. A flame flickers inside the ring of fire. I'm not even sure what that's about. Yeah, unfortunately I have beaten the first Castlevania, but I never got too much farther than this in Castlevania 2, to be honest. Like, I did get through this area multiple times, but I always get lost in, like, almost anywhere else. Ah, there we go. We need to jump over that. Don't want to fall. It'll either take us to our deaths, or somewhere where we'll have to backtrack in order to get back here. And that glowing orb is what we need. Kinda looks like the end of level thing you get at the end of in Castlevania 1. But instead we have to... This is a weird thing, this is what we need the oak stake for. Took me a second to realize that. But yeah. Get the oak stake, throw it! And we get this item. You now possess Dracula's rib. We possessed it. We're pro at possessing Dracula's rib. Dracula's rib, it sounds like a meal at some sort of like spooky themed restaurant. Come now for our fabulous Dracula's ribs, only at the frightening price of $8.99. Blah, or whatever. And now a victory dance. Yeah, but that was Simon's Quest, alright. I have a complicated feelings about the game, really. I think most people do. Like, it's fun enough, but it's just not nearly as well made as the first game, where it's just great immediately. Whereas Castlevania 2, at best, is kind of fun throughout until you get to the really annoying sections. And the annoying sections in, like, Castlevania 1 and 3 are more like... They're frustrating because it's a really difficult, challenging, like, game. They're not frustrating in that you get confused and don't know where you're supposed to go because the game is stupid and vague. Or that you're wasting your time beating, killing enemies over and over again in order to get currency, and you might just die before you even get to town, and so you'll have to get it again. It's just annoying. If I were to recommend, I'd recommend the, what is it called? The updated version of Castlevania 2. I'll put the name on screen. See you next time for Castlevania 3.